Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Zooming into Radio. My name is Pastor the DJ, and today we're sitting with another guest, and I guess she needs no introduction. Tasekaya, Sis Unathi, the ever so
Hello, my love.
How are you?
Did I take a call in course?
For accepting my invitation. You haven't been doing many interviews of late. Why is that?
Don't do interviews, BAW. I don't know, I think in with broadcasting and radio is you must be of service to Abantu.
Yeah.
And you must make it about Abantu. And the consumer comes first, and the listener comes first. So for me, I don't like talking about myself. I like being a facilitator, for people to be able to have easy conversations. I like being a vessel and a mouthpiece for Abantu. So doing interviews means I'm talking about myself, and I honestly, I honestly don't like talking about myself.
I'm sure you only do it when it's necessary, when there's something to promote, obviously.
Yeah, like a project or a book or something, but ubumna, it's and ambiselanic actually with that mindset.
Does it have anything to do with maybe upbringing from a Kai?
Of course, Kalogo, Pastor, I come from a very humble home, we are from Grahamstown, Tina, and Ekabecha as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it was always about putting others first, and not being too into yourself, understanding that you are part of a community. So it's definitely, Umama no Tata, I speak to them regularly and often.
Yeah.
And I always say, I want to make them proud, and being self-centered and being all about me would not make them proud. So I always think and ask myself, what would Mama say? What would Dada say?
Yeah.
So it's definitely indlela engikhululiswe okay.
Does it also influence how you treat yourself in public? Because abantu need to see you as a public figure, and how you carry yourself obviously plays indima enkulu in how you carry yourself now, because unalando eti Mama, Dada, they are watching all the time. So I have to make sure whatever and whatever I say, I shazi kayala mukanye itukani nendlela enkhuliswe ngayo.
Well, yes and no. Yes, because they know who I am, because bankulisile. But no, because they also know who I am, and they know that they've raised me to be very outspoken, very articulate, very honest about how I feel, but conscious of how I say it.
Yeah.
So yes and no, and more no in that I separate. My work is not me.
Yeah.
I'm not defined by Umsebenzwam.
Yeah.
I'm not defined by where I work. I'm defined by ubumna. Unathi ozalelwe kwaNkayi ongowasemathunzini, as opposed to worried about the public figure. And I'll give you an example. You and I were at a wedding this past weekend.
Yeah.
And a beautiful wedding, kwaSpamla. And most of the comments I got was, yo kanene siyakulibala that ungu sister, ungu dade, you're a friend, you're an aunt, because that's what they saw in my videos, as opposed to having to have this, or trying to live up to the image that other people have given me because of the roles I've played in the public eye. So yeah, yes and no.
There's always an expectation, and during the times that we've always been together, we are feeling yes, I thought it was out, and now when they engage with you one-on-one, people walk away, they're surprised. And that's
I know, and I never, and I know, and I guess go right? Because you experienced me, but I do know that, and Umama tells me all the time, not as teensy, sis teensy. I don't know.
Yeah, from a distance.
Yes, yeah. So umama always says that to me. Athi mntanam umuntu ofuna ukuapproacha uyazithanda abuzisisa acinga kabini kathathu. But xa efika kum afumane esona sibhanxa sit down to earth and very playful.
Trust me.
So yeah, I don't know, and I don't know. Is it because ndakhe judge idols? Is it because ndakhe i-radio ndithetha nabantu abanqindilili okanye ndaziwa ngomongameli ndaziwa nasebukhosini? I don't know, but like ndimlo. I also don't mind it. I don't mind it as well because it allows me to create boundaries nabantu, you know, and ndingaqheleki. Andifuni uqheleka, I think.
No one does. No one wants that.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you. We're aging sodwa Tina. I'm looking at you. You look like you're in your 20s or late 20s. And I guess you owe all of that to Ijim. When did this bug bite? Because you used to be a bit full. No offense, I hope I'll kubegi, but at the end of the day, Unathi just came up with I'm going to make sure that I tone my body into what I want. And we've seen you go through this transition. It's so unbelievable what you've created out of La Unathi Sasimas. When did that bug bite you? When did it bite?
Enkosi, I think ndandinzima umntana wami wesibini, you know, and as the CSC siba pregnant, the pregnancies we get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And dambele kumntanam, and 6 months after ezelwe, I been weight 98, and I probably looked 15 years older than I do now. And I go happy, you know, and I knew. Dikhula mna must didlala hockey, didlala squash, dikwi athletics teams. So I knew that bendikhumbula londo leyo, and I just wanted it back.
Yeah.
So the first thing endayekayo yiswekile.
Okay.
Abantu abaninzi abayazi ba iyagugisa iswekile. So yiswekile le endenza ba dikhangeleka ngathi ndimncinci than I am. Oh. It's not the weight. It's abantu, they think it's the weight. Yiswekile. So daya kutya iswekile kakhulu 2017. And when I say iswekile, added sugar. So kanpunga, I don't add sugar to ikofi yam okanye iti yam. Iti yam disela no busi honey, disela imnyama. And coffee, I just don't have any sweeteners. And then like isn't this fun ne cake, ne muffins, as zimnandi and ziki. So the moment I cut off iswekile, I started aging backwards. And then I started researching as well. And iswekile is the most addictive substance in the world. More than drugs or cocaine or heroin, no ban. Sugar is the most addictive drug in the world. And I saw Sebastian Londole because by benzimali ngayo. So I stopped iswekile, and iswekile ndifumana kwizinto ezifana nefruit. So i-mangoes zithanda ukufa. Natural sugars. Yeah. Yes. Then I was like, yo, lo mkhaba ndizawuthini. So now I was very slow. Even like the weekend, abantu were like, Unathi ujanjani umngqusho? And I'm like, guys, ningalibaliba iyandithatha 7 years yonke lento. So ngizongawutya umngqusho xa ndikumtshato, you know?
Yeah.
Then I was like, lo mkhaba ndisusa njani? Then I researched ba thina ke bafazi. Xa sisitya isonka, wheat, gluten, nobisi, dairy. Zezi zinto ke ngoku zisenza sibe bloated, sibe constipated. So it's really taken me a lot of education to myself. And then you find with the healthier we eat, the more energy we have. And the more we can actually misbehave. So it's been a counteraction. And then in gym, obviously, your mom is psychologically, you are in a happy mood. Because there's endorphins that kick in. And that's why I prefer gym exeni. Because I have to so I must be in a good mood, I must be patient, I must be understanding. So now in sebenzela ba divuke Kala 5:30 bethela ngayo before siqala urecorder. Dijime sometimes, then ndibuye ndisabantwana esikolweni, ndibuye ndiqhubeke okanye ndivuke ekuseni to start my admin, ndisabantwana esikolweni ndibuye. Then I gym.
Yeah.
Then after I gym, then I can deal with the world and the expectations that the world have of me responsibly.
And that energy carries you through the day, because they find even after gym, and I guess that's what you try to say.
And because let's say ujime for an hour, an hour away from your family, away from work, away from away from ichomizako, that you have to think while you whether we are ballet or you're lifting weights, it's meditative, it's repetitive. So uneklashi as well to focus. So that's why it gives you more focus for throughout the day.
I try to do some research on you. Not much.
You don't need to do research on me.
I had to find a couple of things, but one of the interesting things I found out, you also went to, is it Utrecht University in Holland?
Yeah, Utrecht. So, Gamma Bulmos. So is yeah.
Yeah. You for E, Kanen. Oh,
yeah. Like Utrecht.
Okay. How did that come about? Did it come after Rhodes?
No, it was because of Rhodes. So in my final year at Rhodes, I was playing hockey for South Africa.
Okay.
Ibhlungu actually. Ibhlungu. Ukubona lanto kuthiwa into ebhlungu, but awuyazi ba uthi kuphathele ntoni ngapha kwayo.
Yeah.
So at the time I was playing hockey for South Africa, Eastern Province, near Rhodes. Yeah, first team Rhodes, then Eastern Province, then South Africa. Then Chamam, we were going to the World Championships Australia, and I got an injury. We left. But left.
Okay.
98. So literally, I was bedridden. I couldn't play for the specific tournament. Okay. Because I didn't go to the world tournament on behalf of Rhodes and South Africa. Cut a long story short, lecturer I am journalism. Unathi, we've got this exchange program for 4 students in South Africa to go and study in the Netherlands for an international journalism program.
Okay.
And we want you to enter. I'm not very academic. Like, I haven't had the highest marks. They're looking for all-rounders. And the fact that you made a South African team, but you're also doing relatively well and with your extramurals, apply. Fully paid for, and there will be 16 international students from all over the world. We had American students, British students, European students, South American students, literally from all over the world. And then I applied, and I and that's how I managed to get honors in journalism in Netherlands to do international media studies. So in my final year at Rhodes, I had to do 2 degrees at the same time. I had to do journalism at Rhodes my final year in broadcasting. Yeah, and then I also had to do the international media studies course. So that's how it happened. And then Dabuya, and it gave me a wonderful qualification for the rest of my life.
Studying journalism, did you see yourself as someone in the news department, or when you're reading news, the TV, when you're working for a newspaper? What did you have in mind when you chose journalism? Yeah.
That's sports administration and sports management, EPTech.
Okay.
Utata wam wathi usakiwa Nkayi owamutata wathi mntanam kuzafuna ukuya university. Yeah. That time I didn't want to go to university. Ndiyonqena mos mna academically.
Yeah.
Wathi utata hayi university. Akhomntana, it's as if akhomntana uza technicon. Wathi uza university. That's okay, tata ndiyaphi ngelo xesha yangeke bese NMMU. So ndithi kuye, so tata ufuna ndiye UPE okanye Rhodes. What did I was I Rhodes? So literally, to mom, I had to look on what courses they had to offer. In journalism was the first major I chose, and then drama was the second major. Then go on the funnel cards and I'm okay. I'm gonna have 3 majors. Politics is start.
Yeah.
In politics, I dropped out second week because then got my jurisdiction, constitutional, live. So then my 3 majors ended up being journalism, drama, and anthropology.
Okay.
So that's how it happened.
Because the show is called Zooming into Radio. Immediately after school, you got your first gig on TV, by the way.
Yes.
When you went to Johannesburg?
No, so ndiyafika ke Gauteng andinamali andinamsebenzi ndinale qualification ye journalism. Ndifonelwe yitshomi yam uLidurhu lo seAgoya. Choma msachomana kwa St Joseph's ke ngoku sisase primary.
Okay.
Andifonela uLili athi choma kukho i-auditions zale nkqubo izawuqala ku-SABC1. Andiphakame ngelo xesha ndathi Durhu xa undibona mna undibona ndizawuba ndiyipresenta njengoba ndinale qualification nje yase-Rhodes. Wathi nuli what? Yeah, ke unathi awunawo nomsebenzi njengoba ndiphakamele kule form. Khawuhambe uye kwezo auditions uye kusokolisa abazali manje bacela imali yofotokopa uthumela i-CV zakho. And literally that's how I got the job.
Oh yeah.
Ndazithatha sana ndaqokelela umsila wami lo phansi. I went to the audition. The rest was history. I got the job.
Tell me about the audition, because I'm sure no one knew who you were, but did you have to do screen tests just like everyone?
Like everyone. So it was a big show, Castle Loud, it was sponsored by ESA Breweries.
Yeah.
So they literally had auditions all over the country, and they had over 5,000 people auditioning all over the country. So ngale mini mna ndifika ngayo for auditions, bendikhaphe enye ichom yam eyayifunda eRhodes. And sasesivile ba ishow izawuphiwa yena. Ukubona lento soyivile ba nifana na audition nonke but ishow ike ngabani.
Yeah.
So ndathi kubani hayi bani jonga, just to make your life easier za audition nawe. Yaqonda? Not that why he told me that way, but sasifunda kunye Rhodes. Just to put the record straight. Yeah. She was a year older than me.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it, John. Sesivile must buy yakho le show. So mandenze now dikuhlekise nje uzokhuleka. Kanti bafuna insini yam guys that got me the job. So dingene kwi interview, singene kwi audition mna nale ntombazana Fiona. uFiona aphiwe all the ama lines wonke. Iyayiqonda masibe nguye esitering ba ladies and gentlemen athi joke mna ndiveske ngihleke athi esibili ngihleke athi esithathu ngihleke Cut a long story short, Donnie Ferrer, the CEO of Urban Brew Studios. I'm sure you guys know Urban Brew. He sees the audition tape. Athi, okay guys, ndiyava lo Fiona. Kubani lo uhleka isiqhazela sento, kubani lo mntana uvuya gqithi wonwabileyo gqithi undihlekisa uhleka ade alile. Kuthiwa hangu unathi, kuthiwa ngowaphi, kuthiwa no bafunde bobabili eRhodes. Athi CEO, oh, so they have the same journalistic qualifications. Kuthiwa ewe. Kodwa khaniphinde nibizeni lo mntana lo andinaxesha lo userious gqithi. Khaniphinde nibizeni lo aze ngomso. Ngengomso kubizwa mna, kubizwa uStone, kubizwa uDJ Sbu. The audition is no Stone, then the audition no Sbu. At the end of the day, kuthiwe kum unathi ngophi omthandayo phakathi koStone noSbu. Ndizike mna gaka lokusana bongo muffin Stone. Are you kidding me? And that's how we did Castle Out, guys.
Are you still friends with the Fiona?
Zange sazichomi man, ile nto ndikoma ndilukse kwa yaqonda. Akandithandi otherwise, Pastor. If that's your question, akandithandi tu nontombi and andimblame, because I'm sure xa ndibona noba uthi nditya ilife yakhe ndingatsho nam.
Nani ngezotshomi, hence uqale apho.
Bafuna ndilungise. Basafunda kunye eRhodes.
Yeah, otherwise, I couldn't do that. So, would I be wrong if I can say indaba ye-radio nayo ize mhlawumbe olo hlobo ngokokuva kwabo okanye ngokubona kwabo eTV and they thought, actually, masimzamene radio, sibona uba kanjani?
I-radio ke ngoku ize ngotata wabantwana bam.
Okay.
Bad Boy T. Now, unbona kula Castle Loud Gaston. Use YFM yena.
Akamkhonisayo kodwa kwangoku.
Because yena ushuta uwoza weekend. Kla Eben Bruce ushuta khona Castle Loud.
So yonke lento yenzeka apha. Okay.
Yeah. Ufonela uboss wakhe YFM. Uthi jonga boss koko le ntombazana intsha ise SABC1 yenza la nkqubo noStone. Athi boss, hayi man, ndiyacaba la ntombazana ungathi right. Athi Sabelo, yo Thomas. Athi Thomas. Qasha pha. Ndifonela nguboss wase YFM. Athi boss wase YFM, mamela asinamali. We are not promising to ever give you a job. We're not promising to ever pay you. But don't you want to come and hang out at YFM? Sikufundisa nje e-radio. Ndithi ke mna ke sure. So this was ndaqala ikhasi lawo ngo-April, bandifonela ngo-May. So from May, June, July, August, September, October, for 6 months, ndiyatrayina nje, akho mali ndiyifumanayo. This is what we call an internship, kids. Because ngathi abazazi bakukho ezi zinto ba uyaphangela ukhe ungabhatalwa. So I did an internship at for 6 months. Ngelaka yam, iwe, ngelaka yam. Kwakunye intombazana eyabhatyazayo ngebirthday yayo. Ndafonela kwathiwa we need a stand-in. You must be here in 45 minutes. I was there in 45 minutes. The rest is history. Ndaqashwe YFM ngolo suku.
Umamni.
Ndingumamthunzi uhamba upepepe uqabele wenu inja ayifaki ngihleli unyukwana uthibani Mthwakazi Nkayi.
No, bahamba nawe.
Uzalwa ngumamntande, uMadlomo Sophitha, uNgqolo Msila, uyemyema uvele bamthi.
No,
ndizele ke mna ke obhele olanga odlamini oJamas Jara.
No, bahamba nawe jonga. Bahamba nawe kwela Gauteng indebe olala ePark Station ezazitori uziva ngabayiqhuba.
Yeah. Even our post system dasekhaya, even iwest ndifonela kwangulo Stone sithetha ngaye unfonele ngolesine before ndize bike wela kule veki pheleyo.
Yeah.
Wathi kum, yo mntana ndini, I wish abantu babanofunda bangaze bakulwise wena. Ndithi mna ke ngoba kutheni? Athi Unathi izinyanya zakho zihamba nawe. I don't know if you get this okanye you don't. I wish abantu babeyazi ba wena awungolwiswa because babanomsindo abantu bakokwenu baveske bakunyuse ngaphezulu kunalaa ndawo babecinga bakunqunge. Imithandazo yam kaloku leyo ephiwe every day xa ndiqala kuThixo. Nditsho ndithi Thixo undinqunge, undikhusele, undivulele indlela.
So you've been with FM, after that Metro, and then there was Kaya FM, right?
Yes.
Which one did you have the most fun at?
YFM.
YFM. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It was young.
Yeah.
We were young. We were free. We were defining, not even redefining. We were defining who we were as the youth. We were redefining boundaries and breaking them. But most importantly, Piwe, bengekho social media.
Yeah.
Bengekho social media. So we could make our mistakes without abantu abaphethe ipenes bomvu. We could make our mistakes without people watching us and judging us and threatening to cancel us. We could make mistakes and heal in privacy. We could be private. We could switch off. We could get off the stage. Social media has taken so much away from us as creatives.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Kanye West. Okulayo. And because of what he did to Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
When Trevor said to the Grammys, counsel Kanye West, Nimniki Therapy. He's got 5 nominations with Grammys as is about next weekend.
Yeah.
5 nominations, and he was
right
including.
Now we call
and they've cancelled his performance.
It's ridiculous, eh? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they've cancelled his performance. And Trevor, uthi kanye ndithi cancelisha i-performance yakhe ndithe mkhawunsele. So, and that's all social media. So for me, it was definitely why we were free. We were fearless, and we were uninhibited. And we could dream in ways that social media can't limit us in. So definitely YFM.
Would you credit that to management? Because, you know, when management is always micromanaging you, with
it's always managers.
It's different. Good way. Go out there, have fun. How important is that?
It's always managers. And I'm going to say something controversial, but it's the truth. It's always the managers that destroy radio stations. It's always the managers that destroy the creativity of, as you were saying, Abasasazi and the broadcasters. It's always the managers that limit resources and freedom. It's always the managers that threaten your future and your jobs. It's always the management that have no experience in actually broadcasting on air, that are given way too much power with what goes on air, that destroy things. Because the moment management changed at YFM, we all left. Because it was a new crop of people who didn't understand broadcasting, who came with their own views. Okay, YFM, drum and bass. Drum and bass. So it's, for me, it's always management. Management that has never been on air, that has given way too much power, that is insecure even about their power.
Yeah.
That messes up radio stations. It's always management.
I've always failed to understand the management. Talent, I'm going to cut you down to size. But umsebenzi wakhe yena solely depends on you. In fact, any job, JNI, is because you are bringing in the numbers for them. And I always fail to understand it.
And it's not just the numbers. It is your size that makes them a better manager.
Yeah.
Because cutting down to size means they are cutting down the LSM, they're cutting down their numbers, they're cutting down their audience. So it's always the managers that have no experience in radio, that have too much power, that envy you and your size, that want to sabotage the very same process. So it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
Let's talk about roles in broadcasting. You guys, women are always put in the role in primetime shows. If they're going to give a full show, a show in, it's either happening between 12 and 6 exing, and during prime time, women are always given a role by a co-presenter. Abantu abanjengo-Anele are breaking those boundaries because nabo.
But nayo unomlungu wakhe that she's co-hosting with. That she's co-hosting with. Unathi on Drive, Walk on Star FM. Do you know Mlungwam that I'm co-hosting with? So bathathu with drive time shows. Anel in the morning, Tando in the afternoon, myself in the afternoon. So bathathu kukho belungu abangamadoda esimataniswe nabo. So I chinchanga.
What's your feeling on that? What's your feeling on that? But why can't you have an all-female team?
Because men make the decisions.
Yeah.
Because men are sitting at the top.
Yeah.
Men are on those boards. Men are in Exco. Men are the station managers. Men are the program managers. It's because kukho amadoda at the top who can't put their faith in us.
Yeah.
Anela has a cute little white boy who she co-hosts with. Tando has a cute little white boy she co-hosts with, and so do I. Why is that?
Yeah.
Why can't Zizo be on her own? It's because it's always amadoda who are making those decisions on top.
And do you feel the women in that space right now are doing enough to have this change sometime in future for abanye performance Zimbabwe?
But it's also, do we have the strength to do so?
Yeah.
Because for me, my work speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Like for me, I've been broadcasting since 97.
Yeah.
At Rhodes Music Radio, then YFM 2001. So I've been doing radio for 21 years. And no man because I know it's beyond my capabilities. It's not because abantu abandithembanga ba andikwazi ukwenza lo msebenzi. It's because of the insecurities zamadoda. They know I can. I've done it for over 21 years. So it's because of the insecurities zamadoda. And then I have to ask myself, as Unathi, not the broadcaster, do I have strength for that? Yeah. I don't have strength to deal with insecurities. Zenye indoda, eno mama, enabanye bantwana.
Picking your battles. You have to pick your battles. Those are waste.
Picking my battles.
You don't have to waste your energy.
Yes, because I don't need to prove ubumna to anyone. I know I'm one of the greatest to have ever done it. I know when they mention radio greats, they will say my name next to Mama Shadow Twala.
Yeah.
They will say my name next to Mama Unokolo Chlotbom. I know this. And it's not. And abantu bazawuthi Unathi yazithanda guys because diyazazi.
Yes. Yes. Confident.
Because diyazazi, and I've done the work. You know what I mean? So I know my name shall be said amongst greats. Kandilingana nabo Mama Shadow Twala no sis Nokolo. So that's why for me, as battles, they co-hosts, Nandoni, I can't engage in them and I can't give them my energy because I know it's insecurities of the man and not the confidences of the broadcaster. You know, I had to hold my own next to greats like Glenn Lewis and not drown and not be murdered by him.
Yeah.
Greats like Root Boy Paul, who both those men would want to see ubutota babo kum, you know, and bafunos veza because nabo banomsindo bakutheni funeke behleliswe nentombazana. So nabo they've got their own issues. Yeah, God. Nabo they want to know why must they co-host next to abafazi. So we've also had to, and I've also had to deal with that. On some jonga ngikholimna diyela esikolweni lento ndiyenzayo. And you'll find that's why disela phamna and bapibona.
Yeah,
So I've had to, and I guess it comes with, as I go back to, I know myself and I know what I've done to be here. I know I'm extremely educated, but I also know that I'm very good at what I do, you know. So if diza partnerishwa nomntu, I just hope that person can rise to mgangatho wam. I think that's the difference. I think going to Sakala, I would have to meet up with a Root Boy Paul or Glenn Lewis, gezela. But I've done that, and now that I'm here, it's noban nabani. I hope that person can keep up with me.
Standard, Sam. Yeah, hey, you blue ticked the whole country. They spoke was about it, and you moved on.
Yeah. Because Baza's phone this phone. No. You're the only person I'll say this to. Yeah. I moved on because Baza's phone this phone.
Yeah. Okay.
So in other words, to give you more than I've given Abanye.
Yeah.
Legally is where we are.
Yeah. Ne? Look.
Yeah.
Come to that point.
It has to Galogo and is on Klambalaza Ninhlaze ngobuxoki. Nindigxothe ngobuxoki and allow inkwenkwe efana lamfana oyinkwenkwe to go around athethe izinto ngam aveze izinto ngobuxoki and I keep quiet. So I always deal with things legally. So that's why I blue ticked the nation because abangeni ndawo. Abangeni ndawo, but it dividends abazosifumana ekhaya.
Yeah.
Let me say that. Yeah. Let me say that. I say phumela kwindlela right. It's just that guess sizayithetha xa sifumene koluthetha. But bazasifunda isifundo. Yeah. Isifundo sona bazasifunda isifundo. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, a few months later, it took you a few months, and when you said, what afternoon drive, and you did not mention, hey, so many people were guessing, but a couple of names came up. In the wall, and I thought to myself, probably, would you go back to a metro? Did you leave in matters right, Pagat? You obviously wouldn't go back. Do you want to get Jalutinga?
No, I wouldn't go back to why. I wouldn't go back to Metro. I wouldn't go back to a Castle Loud. I wouldn't go back to a place where I feel that I've done all that I can. Zonke is down to Zambe kahle. Zonke is down Zambe kahle kuzo and xabananga namntu.
Yeah.
Ngaphandle kwekhaya. But I still wouldn't go back there because I think I've served into you know. And if I hadn't, I wouldn't have left until I had. So but also ndivane nabantu, you know. So I get along with bonke abantu ngaphandle kwabo bokugqibela. But I still wouldn't go back because I think there must be new people who are taught abafundswayo to be able to carry the baton into the next phase of our lives.
Yeah.
I think I'd be going backwards if tinobuyela kwezondawo, you know. I'd rather experiment Umhlobo, you know, and have a new challenge. Yo sasaza ngesiXhosa for 3 hours every day. Those kind of challenges for me, like, or 2000 or an SAFM talk. Talk is something I would never do because I'm Tandulok, as I said. So for me, I think going back cancels yonke builder. I don't know if I'm making sense. But also nabanye abantwana kufanele bafumene izithuba zokwenza lento nawo buyenza, you know? So that's why I'd say I wouldn't go back. But yeah, I love all those places.
There's one question in the time. We only have 2 more minutes to go. There's one question in time. What's the worst rumor you've ever heard about yourself? And clarify
that I cheated in my marriage.
Oh, I never heard that.
And that's, oh no, kaloku andisi abantu ngoku babezama uyenza into emdaka was that I would ever cheat in my marriage and then kuthiwa dadyole emtshatweni and then divorce. And for me, it's you know, to see indlela esivana ngayo notata wabantwana bam, nendlela esibakhulisa ngayo, it's wonderful to know that he knows that I never did that. But I yandikhubekisa kakhulu leyo, because I think it goes back to what you always say, ndixabisile imvelaphi yam kakhulu. So that's ngeyona nto yandikhubekisa mna ebomini bam. That has nothing to do with umsebenzi wam, just because it attacked me as a woman and my character. And ndakhubekiswa yiloo nto.
And as umzali as
well.
So
but that's why ke ngoku ndathula pastor dababetha ngale ndlela ndiyibetha ngayo ikhaya, ndablutika ikhantri, ndadilishana nabo, ndafumana imali zam, ndaphuma nendaba ke ngoku.
Always a pleasure chatting to you. I'm so happy.
Please.
Sit down. When somebody gets to when somebody gets to experience, I'm sure now they can see that this is the true you. Interviews. People did not know that you're this much fun, but we showed another side of you, and I hope you're going to be right for when I'm moving forward. Not that I couldn't do wrong way anyway.
Of course. Uchilo no Penny, Penny Libiani, because we trained together, So we take last week. What yo Unathi? Das reala is stitch sako si chaso so sasas. Did game like go ba. Ati because we are hlanya, glad radio show yakho. Did game like nyan? Ati, and I've been waiting for years for people to know the crazy you. Learned experience I every day, not law who is prim and proper and put together. And I guess I'm at a different place where I can be free. And I've lost it all. So I don't fear anything else that I might lose, because I lost it all.
Thank you very much for having this sit down with us, and all of the best. Enjoy the show this afternoon. Yeah.
Bye-bye, Chamam.
Ladies and gentlemen, Unathi Nkayi, and don't forget to subscribe. Danko! Diablen!